The impact that Earl Little has had, like we get to see just the physicality and how that resonates with teammates, but like you can see everything in practice. Like you just quantify or discuss like the impact he's had on not just the defense, I guess like kind of everyone around him.
Yeah, he's a physical player and he plays full speed. And so when I was with the Panthers, I coached with a guy named Steve Wilkes, and he used to tell me the physicality of your defense will be measured by the secondary. And it just always stuck with me, and it's just how we have to play that way. We want to be a physical team, we want to play hard, but I would say he inspires the rest of the guys to, play hard and hit hard and try to be physical in that. So yeah, he's doing a good job so far.
If I can follow up on the physicality of the secondary in general, then with that in mind, like how have you been pleased with that through two games?
Yeah, I've been pleased with the physicality that shows up on Saturday. I have, going back to week 1, we had a corners, make a big time stop, a tackle on 4th and 1, or on 4th down to get the ball back. That was a pretty physical play. So yeah, all of the guys, they kind of set that tone, that culture is in the DB room. That's what we do.
All right. Is physicality something that can be taught, or do you have to have the right guys?
I think toughness is a skill. I do. I think it's something that you can grow. Not like height or speed. I think it's something that you can grow, and we teach it and we practice that way. We lift that way. We eat that way. And it's a mindset, and you can build that mindset, absolutely.
Leo?
Ashlynd Barker, you guys talked a lot about him coming into the season, and he's taken that step. He's made a mark against Alabama, and again in the second week. What does it say about the confidence that he's just playing with? Can you kind of feel that going around the room, that everyone's feeding off each other's confidence?
Yeah, so Ash is a process guy, and then when you mix the process with his God-given ability, then eventually something great will happen. I told Ashlynd Barker in the spring that he was an NFL player, and I think he believes that more now than he has. But if you look at him, he looks different, he runs different, he can change direction, he's smart, he comes with the same approach every day. His mindset is, I just want to get better. He's a sponge. He asks questions. He asks the right questions, not just the coach-pleasing questions. He practices that way. It's not perfect. Defense is an imperfect side of the ball, but I respect him and his approach every day. So I'm pleased with what he's doing so far, but not surprised. I don't think any of the guys are really surprised.
All right.
What did you see in him? I mean, you can see physically he's got a lot of physical tools, but like, what did you see? Because he played. He was close to making some plays last year, but it felt like maybe he didn't finish those plays. Like, what did you see to identify that?
The first day I walked into the room and almost sent him to the D line because he's so big. Then I seen him run, and then all summer he was winning the sprints and the change of direction stuff. I had him with the bottom, the very, very bottom, on purpose. I wanted to see how he was going to react or respond to it. And I could see him getting frustrated, but he just kept. And probably about midway through training camp, I just told him, I said, you're the starter. And so when you watch him, when you see him, you see a big guy who can run, who's not afraid of contact. He can catch, he can cover, he's smart. It's really a no-brainer. He just had to carry himself that way, and people had to see him in that light, and I think we do now.
Chris?
Were there any young guys that jumped out to you in East Texas A&M when they got opportunities?
Oh, the young guys. Yeah, I would say I'm probably most pleased with the young guys. There's a standard. Honestly, to be honest, as a defense, I think we're past the state of who are we playing. I think we're more tapped into how do we get better, and that's a day-to-day thing. So when you see those guys going out there, like they line up the same way the first, second, that all the groups line up the same. They play with the same physicality. They play with the same effort. Again, defense isn't perfect, so it's never going to be perfect, right? But those guys, they play hard. They try to be physical. They run around. They do well on special teams, and it's the culture and the defense. Coach White sets the tone for it, so I'm pleased with those guys.
One more question on Ashlynd. You mentioned midway through training camp, he started to kind of, you said he was gonna be the starter, I guess, when in training camp did you kind of see like, okay, I feel good that he's going to get a bunch of reps and actually start for us?
Well, again, in the spring, I told him he was an NFL player.
Yeah.
He looks like the guys that I coach with the Panthers, and he plays like those guys. So I really put my thumb on him to see how he was gonna respond, and that was really the only thing I was waiting for. And he responded the right way. And like I said, he's the same guy every day. He's one of the first guys in. He's texting me, asking me questions. Like, he's a pro. He's a pro. I don't know how else to say it. He's a pro. He is exactly what I would like to continue to recruit. I would love to have 5 or 6 Ashlynd Barkers and 5 or 6 Earls, and would be good for a long time.
Peter?
Coach, what's something you want to see the DBs improve going to the Kent State game and even going forward? What would be the challenge?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say every day we come out with the focus of getting better at tackling, because college football is a lot. You make a lot of, especially at DB, you have to make plays in space. I would like to see them defeat blocks on the perimeter. I would like to see them make more plays on the ball. I think we have 2 interceptions now. I think we should have more than that, and I want to see us continue to get good reads off the quarterback and stuff like that. Like I said, really day to day, I'm just watching the approach, and I've been pleased with that. I think we process oriented, not really results. So I like where we are.
Ira?
I'm guessing because of Ashlynd's journey, not really being recruited out of high school and having to go to JUCO, and not even playing there that year, and there seems to be a humility about him. Is that a good thing, or do you want your DBs to not be so humble, be a little bit more,
Okay, so there's something that I learned in the NFL, and I'm not trying to sound cool because I said the NFL. That's not it at all. So like, when I walk into a room and I'm coaching Stephon Gilmore, and he asked me if he could play a different leverage, and this is my first time coaching in the NFL, and he's a Hall of Fame player, that's humility to me. And he's that way. J.C. Horn is about as brash and as you come. That's how he is every single day. So it's not cookie cutter. Like I said, I love JC's approach, and I love Gilly's approach, and I love Earl's approach, and I love Ash's approach. It's really about what they do day to day and not how they present themselves all the time.
Liam?
Can you talk about process? Can you talk about the film side of things?
Yeah.
Against East Texas, and we saw Earl jumps that route, misses the ball, he does get the pick. There was a few other instances in the first few weeks that you've seen where guys recognize plays.
Yeah.
Where are you guys making the most strides in the film room, and just kind of how have you seen them really get into that detail-oriented process?
Yeah, we talk a lot about offense and how offenses typically try to attack us. So I don't think you can play good defense without understanding how they're trying to attack you. So I think we've grown in that area. I think they're more comfortable reading routes and playing with vision. We played a lot of back to the ball, man-to-man last year. It was an adjustment period for that. I think they know formations. I think they know backfield sets. I think things make sense to them now. It's been a learning curve, but I would say we probably made the most strides with their approach to meetings and their approach to film study and the methods in which they obtain and retain information. I think we're in the right spot. Those guys, they've turned themselves into film junkies. Like, you can see those guys walk around the iPad and they just watch film all day. Like, when they're not doing classwork and they scholars and great students, then they're students of the game. So you can see that come to light. I think Jerry has a lot to do with that. The way Earl does it, those guys gravitate to those types of players. So I think we're in a good space right now when it comes to learning and applying it to the field.
We've got time for one more, Brendan.
How has Edwin done this season? I guess what have you liked from him, or things he said?
Yeah. Edwin should be one of our best players. Let me start with that. Second, I'm very pleased with where he is right now. He missed a lot of time in spring ball where Ashlynd didn't, where Earl didn't, he did. And I talk about the J curve a lot. Like, the J, he'll start out here and then he'll probably get worse. But he just keeps attacking it, and then he'll grow exponentially. So I think he's on the growth side. He's living his life better. He's adapted to my style of coaching. I think he's adopted some of Earl and Jerry and Ash's process-oriented things. So I expect him to take a big leap coming here soon. Sometimes the practice habits don't show up until 3 weeks down the line. So I'm expecting him to have a good week this week.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.